I guess I'm a born betrayer. I'm just not good at fitting in, and then when I do, it's always the wrong place, the place that makes me burn everywhere I've been before. I don't mean to be. If there wasn't war, I'd never have to betray anyone. I'd barely been in the hinterlands a month when I got us captured. I'd never befriended my comrades at the Quel'Danil base, and I'd argued with Commander Shallowbrook about why we even held this post. He'd sneered that the trolls were inferior, that we had rightly conquered their land, and when I asked him if he'd ever met one, he had me disciplined. We still spoke common then. This was back when our eyes were still blue, before Arthas destroyed the Sunwell and the elves split into factions. To be honest, I preferred jobs back at the base, but a good soldier had to go out into the field. I always got the worst assignments when I did. I got stuck rear guard on scouting parties that went too far into occupied territory. They were better than us, though, and I was a terrible rear guard. I admit it, the ambush party, that was my fault. I don't even remember passing out. When I came to, we were all in cages in the village, the one down by the shore. I remember the music most of all. That was the first thing I noticed, the drums. Something about those drums stirred me, and I felt at home. I don't know why. Eventually their leader explained that we were hostages, to be traded one for their own missing soldiers, or killed if the trades weren't made. One man started weeping. They dragged him off first. Days passed slowly, my platoon disappearing one by one, and no new trolls returned to the village. I heard Orcish as much as I heard Zandali, which meant that these trolls weren't like the others we were fighting. They hadn't forgotten their allies, the Horde. We all knew the forest trolls as savages who had deserted their allies, but these stuck it out with the orcs, and I liked that. I tried to pick up a few phrases, just simple stuff, but that's why I speak Orcish with their accent. The blacksmith worked next to the cages. I think he took a liking to me. Whatever it was, he left me until last. On the day of my execution, they brought me to their leader, Primal Torntusk. She offered me a bargain, a poison they were going to give me. Free the Reventusk hostages, she said, and if I came back I'd be cured, but run away, I was sure to die. To me it was an easy choice. Shallowbrook didn't value my life enough to give up the trolls, and I couldn't help but admire the Reventusk. Their loyalty to their tribe seemed right to me, but I would have expected from my own people. I just accepted the poison and their escort back to Quel'Danil. When we got there, it was night, and most of the patrol was on watch. I evaded them easily enough, and stalked into Shallowbrook's quarters, after both the Selkies and my revenge. We argued for the last time, words leading quickly to blows. My ferocity was from my new loyalty, from the time when the poison imposed on me, and I overpowered him, forcing him to. I had no mercy, and delivered the final blow while he was on his back. It wasn't showy. I just struck hard enough to keep him from getting back up. Then I snuck around to the cages, freeing the prisoners, and fled with them back to their village. The drums and the primal welcomed us home. I caught her and showed her the poison wound, reminding her of her promise. She laughed, telling me, I lie. That night, they gave me my axe, and the first tattoo, the one I wear on my right arm. Read in their way, it tells the story of what happened since I met them, that I did good by them. It encircles where the false poison was given to me, and it made me one of them. This was about 17 years ago, now, before the Third War, before my birthkind betrayed the Alliance for the Horde, but I wasn't a high elf or a blood elf anymore. I was a son of the Horde.